Real talk. If you want to create your own destiny, you need to create your own work environment. Let me tell you, as somebody, in my work experience, I've had the opportunity to work for the state. I've worked for the military. I've worked for the feds. I've worked for a private industry where I was working for somebody, and I was working in private industry where I was working for myself. And one of the things that I realized through all of that is that if you want to control or create your own freedom in terms of what you want to do, the only way you're going to do that is to run your own show. This is not trying to be funny, but the simple fact of the matter is that as long as you are accountable to someone else. Now, there are going to be people out there who are going to tell you, well, you're always accountable to somebody. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. But the reality is, if you are accountable to somebody, whether it be as a part of an overall process or change, with chain, or working within the hierarchy of a particular entity, you're always going to be at the whim of someone else. Someone will always be in a position to dictate how much leave you have, how much vacation you can take, when you can take that leave. Think about it. I never thought about it like this and so forth, but when I was working for myself, I didn't have to ask anybody's permission to go on vacation. I could just wake up one morning and say, I'm going on vacation right now. Now, I had to notify the courts if I was getting ready to do something, so if I had something coming up, I wouldn't be in dereliction of my duty. But the simple fact of the matter is that once I was in my own setting, I could dictate when I wanted to go to work. If I was on sick leave, I could take as much sick time as I wanted to. Now, mind you, there's the other parts to it, which is, of course, if you're not working, you're not making any money, depending on what kind of industry you're in. If you're in the service industry, you provide services. So if you don't have somebody who's providing those services, guess what? You're not making any money. But the simple fact of the matter is that once you interject yourself into working for someone, think about it. When you work for somebody, they dictate how much leave you take. They dictate how much sick time you have. They dictate when you have to be there. They can penalize you if you're not there. Don't sleep. Am I saying that it's better to work for yourself than it is to work for somebody else? No. Am I saying is it better to work for somebody else than it is to work for yourself? No. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is that at some particular point in your professional life, you have to ask yourself the question, what type of environment do you want to create for yourself? What type of environment do you want to have for yourself? And in doing so, you have to now ask yourself the question, is working for yourself going to create the environment that you want for yourself, or is working for someone else going to do that as well? Don't get me wrong. There is a lot of great places to work. I'm not going to sleep. I thoroughly love where I'm working right now. And I'm in an environment that allows me the opportunity to live the lifestyle that I want to live at this moment. But the reality is that everyone doesn't have that same luxury. And you have to ask yourself that question. Are you in an environment that allows you to do the things that you want to do when you want to do them? Do you have that type of environment? If you don't have that type of environment, you need to stop for a second and say, okay, I need to take a hardcore look at what I'm doing and ask myself the question, is it time for me to change the environment, or is it time for me to create the environment for myself so that I can live the life that I want to live?